Turkey is calling for an international investigation into Khashoggi's killing. Joining me now is Toby Cadman, who's an international law specialist. So this idea of an international investigation, perhaps run by the United Nations, what is the feasibility of that?
Well, I mean, there are two issues as far as an international investigation is concerned. First of all, whether it's going to be supported by the United Nations, what kind of resolution would be required to create that, whether through the Human Rights Council or the General Assembly, and what the scope of their investigative powers would be. What's not clear from what we've seen so far is that there are calls for an investigation, but what is going to be the end result of that investigation? What we still want to see are individuals held accountable in a court of law, and the UN supervisory mechanism creating an investigative body wouldn't have any judicial powers. We're not talking about setting up a court, so you still have the problem that Turkey faces now, is that they can't actually get to those individuals that the evidence demonstrates are responsible for Jamal Khashoggi's murder. And I think that's one of the problems that we still haven't really found a solution to.
Exactly, because Saudi Arabia is said not to be cooperating with any kind of investigation. It certainly doesn't want to extradite any of its nationals. So at the end of the day, what would an international investigation achieve other than saying publicly, yes, it was this person who ordered the killing?
Certainly, it would only say what we already know and what the CIA and other investigative agencies have already uncovered. It's very clear that the Saudi authorities will not cooperate in any way with the Turkish authorities. They certainly will not hand over any of the 15 individuals that Turkey have requested, and there does not appear to be any prospect of Mohammed bin Salman ever being handed over. The closest that we have to that right now is what is being done by the Procurator General in Argentina. So that has been the first step, but that's under universal jurisdiction, which a number of countries can do. And of course, with Jamal Khashoggi having a very close connection to the United States, there is no reason why the US authorities cannot open a criminal investigation and in concert with the Turkish investigative authorities, seek to bring individuals to trial in the United States. Alternatively, what the family of Jamal Khashoggi could do is to bring a civil case against a number of named individuals, including Mohammed bin Salman, under US law. And we have seen individuals that have been tortured and murdered, their families, their legal successors bringing cases against high-ranking officials.
Of course, the US president has made it clear that he won't support any action which could lead to the naming of Mohammed bin Salman as one of those who ordered the killing. But if there was this kind of investigation or any kind of criminal action which led directly to Mohammed bin Salman, that would make it quite difficult for other countries to continue diplomatic relations with a country which has been publicly seen to be involved in a murder like this.
Well, that's right. And there are two potential benefits from an investigative commission, whether it be under the United Nations or through another mechanism. One, that does make it very difficult for states to continue to trade with Saudi Arabia, to continue to cooperate on a diplomatic level. And it could be the precursor to a judicial mechanism, not for a moment suggesting that the circumstances of this case are comparable to what happened in Lebanon. But obviously the assassination of the Prime Minister Hariri at that time led to the creation of an international tribunal for a single act of terrorism. So it could serve as a precursor to a judicial body. But certainly it is going to make it all the more difficult for relations to continue as they are. And we've already seen a number of European states severing ties with Saudi Arabia on a diplomatic and on a trade level. Unfortunately, Trump has, from the very beginning, put his hands over his eyes and his ears to what has actually transpired and what the evidence clearly demonstrates.
Toby, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Toby Cadman there.